Thank you for staying with us on Sunday Politics live from Port Harcourt, where it's actually a continued coverage of the Rivers rerun election. We're monitoring the outcome of the exercise. We talked with the Commissioner of Information, the party, a PDP member in the state, on the party's view on the exercise. We also extended invitation to the APC. We heard from them. They promised they were going to be here, but the chairman of the party in the state, Mr. Davis Ikaya, at the last minute told us he would not be able to come. He gave reasons of threats on his life, and also we tried to bring some other members of the party, but up until we're talking now, they've not showed up. Well, we're looking at it from the observer's point of view. We're making analyses of the Rivers rerun election. Mr. Anyakwe Samofi, an election observer, is here with us. Thank you so much for staying with us. We've been looking at elections in Nigeria, the Rivers situation. But then, when we wonder why this logistics problem will happen at this time.
You know, from my observation, or our observation as a team, you can plan, you can do the best of planning for what you want to do. Draw up all your strategies. If the individuals in the field, because you plan for human beings, if they are prepared to ensure that those plans fail, there's nothing you can do about it. Part of what you had on Saturday were human problems, you know, problems that were created by human beings.
Do you think INEC was sabotage?
I don't want to use the word sabotage. INEC came to Rivers State to do an election, but Rivers State was
too difficult for INEC?
Was abnormal, you know, in the sense that before the elections, you had threats upon threats, you have utterances, you have killings of human beings. It was a special case. And INEC can plan. INEC is not the security outfit. INEC is just an entity that should produce the human resources, the material resources, and deploy those material resources. But if the material resources can get to a particular place and is unable as a result of, for security reasons, those things were unable to happen because of violence by the same individuals, then it becomes extremely difficult. Then there's also, you know, before we move away from INEC, there's also the element of corruption. In Rivers State, INEC must find a way of dealing with the issue of the role of the electoral officers. Because if you talk about election rigging, bring in the electoral officers. You catch the electoral officers first, then the election is rigged. So from the INEC point of view, you need to get personnel who are capable of delivering the goals. But you can plan, you deploy. What happened at the units? What happened at the local government areas? Were guns shot? Were people who were carrying guns? Did we see some of them yesterday? The answer is yes. Why?
Why would people be this violent in an electoral process?
It is because it becomes a do or die affair.
Why?
Because it's, you know, a means of livelihood. You know, you have what they call professional politicians and professionals in politics. When you have professional politicians, these are people who probably do not have the requisite pedigree to do the job. They're just there to line up their pockets. It's personal politics, is patronage, rather than delivery of public goods.
There were issues relating to the role of the military. In your observing this election, did you see the military go out of line?
Look, we are talking about violence, about materials being moved from one place to the other. Yesterday, I had cause to call the military, even where they had police deployed. Because we had situations, you know, in certain units where police was even looking the other way and certain things were happening. The military were not at the polling units. The military were at the
fringes.
At the fringes. When immediately the policemen, the police officials are overwhelmed. The military came in to intervene.
So you
These are professional men.
You think the military were professional?
They were professional, and if the military were not in Rivers State yesterday, you would have seen more dead bodies.
So you supported that the military should have been
simple.
present?
I wouldn't have gone out to monitor, to observe any election if the military were not here. I wouldn't have deployed nobody. Not in an environment where people were being beheaded before this election. People should put these things in perspective. The situation before the election created the impression that this thing is not going to work.
Well, if the military were here, we had huge deployment of the police. Why are we having this sort of violence again? One would think that this deployment, once and for all, should have removed every issue of violence.
If we are going to be honest with ourselves in Rivers State, there are so many small arms in Rivers State. There are people who have these guns and they want to use it. Violence pays in Rivers State.
How?
How?
Is it a trade?
It's a trade. It's a big, huge business in
Violence
this state.
is a trade.
It's a huge business, especially with the politicians.
What do they use it for?
They use it to win elections. It's not about...
Election comes once in a while.
Yeah, of course. You know, when they, immediately after this now, the same people who shot guns, you know, since 1999, are still in the business.
As we round up now, talk to us about what could become of this Rivers rerun. What do you see? When do you think that this exercise can come up to be concluded?
Well, from what we have seen yesterday, you must not jettison military presence, huge security, even for the 8 local governments, you know, that the run is going to take place. Ensure security, learn lessons from what happened in terms of deployment.
For INEC?
What
are the lessons they need? You are talking about security. But for INEC, what are the lessons?
Since you have discovered that result sheets are part of the problem here, ensure that the result sheets you are going to give, if they are coded, make that information available to people, so that if materials can be deployed and people can participate. But I pray that those who participated yesterday will be able to come out in their good numbers and participate. We are interested in the process. If the process is right, then you get legitimacy at the end. Otherwise, you will continue to have problems.
Mr. Anyake Zamofi, an election observer who observed this election, Rivers rerun, to be talking to us on the outcome of the election. Many thanks for coming on the program. Well, that's it for the show today, but it's a continued effort that we're making to give you all the information you need to know in this very crucial Rivers rerun. You know all of those things the politicians have thrown into this game. The federal government also in terms of security, and INEC on the own in terms of the conduct and the staff that are put into this exercise.